We are live. This is Jeff Lichtenstein with Echo Fine Properties. We're here with Rob Moore, our social media director. Penny Burke, and Penny, there's somebody else in the shot I saw a second ago. Maybe was there a little four-legged friend? Well, we'll see in a little bit. And Victoria Lorusso, and then later on, we have a special guest. It's actually somebody with my same last name. His name is Cary. So we're going to see if there's any resemblance in if we know anybody as well together. So we're going to start though with Victoria Lorusso. Victoria is at Eastpointe today. She's at 6694 Eastpointe, and then she'll tell us a little bit about the community afterwards. So Victoria, take it away.
Hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well today. We've got another beautiful day here. A few clouds around. That's okay. This home is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath home. It's been fully updated, so there's nothing really to do but make it your own. It's got a open concept to it. This is the living room, and it's got a tray ceiling. And you can see right up there, it's also got solar tube, which is a way to get natural light into the home. They're really pretty cool. They look like a round disc light, but it gives off a lot of light in the house. There's this living room opens to the kitchen, tons of cabinetry, and it's actually quite a large kitchen. So again, nice open concept, and it's got, you can see there's a skylight in the kitchen as well. So again, more natural light for those of you that like the lighting. Here again, another angle of the kitchen. You can see there's a wine cooler there. There's a huge double pantry here. Great cooking space. People who have rented this house this past year love to cook and really have enjoyed it. Again, here's your angle looking back through. And that opening right there leads to the dining room. Here again, looking out over to the living room, dining room behind me. No, dining room that way, sorry. And here's the dining room. Dining room is actually very long. There's a table for 8 there. You could do a table for 12 in this room if you wanted to. It's that spacious. So, and great wall space for artwork. This gentleman has a lot of very nice artwork in the home as well. And just beyond right here is where we'll go next to the family room. This was added on at some point. You can see the very unique ceiling, 4 skylights in it. And it's, by the way, this house is all impact glass, which is terrific. So you've got those big heavy sliders, triple sliders. They will slide back onto each other. So you'll have a double opening on each side, both places out to the outside. Here's another angle. Very pretty room, very light, bright. Right there is a guest bath, and there's another bedroom behind that wall as well. So this house has almost, people walk into that room sometimes first and they go, oh, this is the master. And I say, no, it's not. It actually, but it seems like it has 2 masters, this house, which is terrific. Great space. What's also particularly nice is that we've got a marble patio outside with a garden view. Very spacious. If you shorten the patio a little bit, you would have room for a pool if you wanted to, but you would have to shorten the patio a bit to get much of a pool in there. But beautiful grounds, wonderfully manicured, just a great space, and you can see how private it is. Here's another angle looking back towards the house. And this is the bedroom I was telling you that people think is the master because it's quite sizable. On this wall, there's 2 sets of double closets, and on the wall right here, there's another giant double closet. So tons of closet space. Adjacent, where I had mentioned to you before, guest bath that has the entry into the family room as well as this guest room. Back towards the front of the house is the master. Has wood floors, cherry wood floors that are that hand scraped kind of thing. Very nice. And the master bath is all updated as well. Double vanity, glassed enclosed shower. It has a walk-in closet off the master bath and 2 additional closets in the entryway to the master bedroom. So there again, good closet space. Again, on the other side of the house, all three of these bedrooms, by the way, are in completely separate ends of the house. So it's great for having guests. Here's another bedroom towards the front of the house. And it has also a walk-in closet. So again, good closet space, and it has its own private bath as well.
They really deck that out too. I love there's a lot of little extras in there too. You can just see just what they did with the walls and the opening to the to the glass that they put in the shower. All those things are lots of little extras. The pewter that they were doing in there, it's really nice.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. And, it's turnkey, it's ready to go. Some of the furnishings are optional too, if that would make it more convenient for someone. But it's in a great location. Eastpointe is getting what we're calling a new lifestyle center, which we're very excited about. This home will be walking distance to this lifestyle center. So they'll be breaking ground on it in 6 to 8 months, and it'll be ready probably January 2022. Maybe sooner, but that's what we're saying for now. So it's going to have a 7,000 square foot gym, a 7,000 square foot everyday sports style restaurant. And you can see here 2 pools, one for aquatics and another one for beach entry, along with a fire pit, hot tub. It's terrific. We're in design phase now with the designers, picking out finishes and wrapping things up with the architects to send it out to bid. So very exciting. Again, this house is walking distance to this, which is great. Eastpointe also, by the way, is a golf cart community. So a lot of people get around in the golf carts, which is, you can't do that in PGA.
What did you say about did you say like a beach? You didn't say it's beach. Did you access or something like that?
Beach, they call it beach entry. So you're not walking downstairs in the pool. It's just a gradual slope into the pool.
Okay. Oh, those are nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then when are they looking to complete that? January
22.
Okay, so that's not too far off. You're not next season, but part of the following season, which is
right. It will be. There was no assessment, by the way, to pay for this, which is pretty remarkable. So Eastpointe used to function as had 2 clubs that functioned independently. They merged a few years ago, and they really don't need 2 driving ranges and 2 of everything. So hence they were selling off one of the driving ranges, which is going to pay for this new facility, which we're again very excited about. The whole community.
It's a fabulous golf course. From people I've
2
talked to.
2 Fazio design golf courses, 6 lit tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, a playground. There's a lot to do, and a whole array of social activities.
My dad just joined us. Dad, you played a lot of golf, and we're between a 2 and a 4. What I know you've told me you like Eastpointe. What is a golf course like to play? From your perspective.
Well, I only played one of the courses, and it was Tom Fazio is a very famous golf course designer, and but it was his uncle, George Fazio, who designed it, and he was equally famous. Jupiter Hills, for example, was designed by George Fazio, and it's a very good golf course. And not only is it a good golf course, the trees are the greens are very tricky. So I always enjoyed playing the golf course. Very good.
Well, what's nice too is that both golf courses are very different for the golfers out there. So one, it has wider, longer fairways, and the other has shorter, narrower fairways with more water hazards. So your shot has to be a little more accurate.
It's Eastpointe was one of the first clubs in the area. It goes back into the 70s. I know, like GE. A lot of people from GE came here, and I think they developed it.
GE
originally.
Took over from the original builder. Yes.
Okay, and some people don't know it's there because you've got to cross over Donald Ross Road, and it's off of Hood. But the location's perfect because you're on Donald Ross. You're very close to PGA if you want to go in that direction. You're right by 95. You're You're right by all the restaurants and the schools. So
You are
and,
also,
and it's gated.
you're also only 9 minutes to the beach and 12 minutes to the airport.
And what are the fees, initiation and membership?
Eastpointe requires a minimum of a social membership, which is 4,000 plus tax per year. Very reasonable, and there is no initiation on that. For a full golf membership, there is a $7,500 initiation. That's all. It's very, very reasonably priced.
What are your dues for both? Did you say for social and for golf?
There is a schedule. It's about 9,400, but then you add in cart fees and that sort of thing. It comes to around 11,500 for everything per year.
And then social again?
That's included in that.
No, if you just want to be a social member.
Oh, then it's 4,000 per year plus tax.
So what happens? I've had people before where they don't want to be. They're not looking for a club whatsoever, even if they're not social, and they don't even want the social membership. Which I think once you get to Florida, you do want some of those things because you're going into lifestyle changes. But sometimes you get amazing buys in Eastpointe. It's a very affordable for the land that you get and the house that you get. Sometimes it's much less expensive than homes that are not in. You could get something sometimes 40, 50 grand less. And it makes so much sense for $4,000 a year to look at Eastpointe if you're even not considering a membership whatsoever, and you'll end up using the restaurants and the pool area and all that stuff anyways.
Well, the other thing that people really appreciate is that it is a gated community and we do have security. So you can't get through our gate unless you have the proper identification.
But it's one, whether you're interested in the club or not even interested in the club, I almost have people look there regardless. So Victoria, to get in touch with you, Victoria also has a boat, so she can take you on a boat if you want to look at anything on the Intracoastal or any of the waterways.
Absolutely.
She's been doing this from Connecticut. Originally did practice real estate there, and grew up in the business. Both her folks were brokers. So 561-531-4977, Victoria at echofineproperties.com. Thank you, Victoria.
Thank you. Stay well, everyone.
And we're gonna now go to Penny Burke. Penny, you're out in Bell Isle today.
I am. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. For everyone out there, happy Thursday. If you're in quarantine and forget what day it is Thursday. So I hope everyone's having a good day.
So do you want to start with the video of the house, or do you want to start with photos first?
If Rob has the video ready to go, that's fine.
Would Rob not have the video ready to go?
No, that wouldn't be Rob. So while we're looking at the video, do you want me to talk a little bit about Ballin Isles?
Sure.
Ballin Isles is it's in Palm Beach Gardens, and I would say it's known for its luxurious lifestyle, soups to nuts. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's at 11 in service. People love Ballin Isles has 3 golf courses. They were created by Dick Wilson and Joe Lee, very well-known golf architects. Each course is known for a different level of difficulty, and actually they just completely redid the South course, and this was the first season that it was open. The clubhouse was just renovated. This is the second season, 115,000 square feet, 6 dining venues, a sports bar, outdoor seating, dining. It's beautiful. And for all those women out there that like to play Mahjong, they triple the amount of rooms where you can play Mahjong, and they have really good candy and snack. Because every time I'm there,
what kind of candy?
They got with soda, they have lemonade. You got to watch what you put in your mouth. You could easily put on the 15 freshman pounds as soon as you move in there. So the clubhouse is separate from the fitness center. There's a 62,000 square foot fitness center, which houses the gym. It has all kinds of exercise rooms. There's an owner's lounge in there, which has snacks every morning. You can read the newspaper. It overlooks it overlooks the tennis courts. There's actually a stadium seating where the Serena Williams and her sister often play matches, and other well-known tennis players gather. And it is, oh, there's a full spa if you want to get your nails done, if you want a massage, if you want a facial, hair. Probably of all the clubs in the neighborhood, it's one of the nicest ones. There's also a juice bar at the pool. So it is two separate facilities when you go into the club. So you're kind of breaking up the amount of people during season. So neither one is ever, so crowded you can't get in and do whatever you want to be doing. There are two doggy parks for all those doggy people out there. I have two dogs myself. So Yappy Hour is very big in Ballin Isles. People go to the dog parks. They drive around in Ballin Isles on their golf carts. They decorate them for Halloween, for Hanukkah, for Christmas, whatever your holiday. It's the kind of community you can be as social as you want, as private as you want. There are a lot of well-known people that live in Ballin Isles that want to live below the radar. You can buy a home in Ballin Isles from the low twos, and you could be at 4 million. You could really spend whatever is your lifestyle. There are some people that live there year round and other people that just come down for season. There are 3 entrances. You're super close to the beach, all the restaurants. So I would tell people, just bring your mask and come on down.
And come in for Yappy Hour.
Yes, come in for Yappy Hour. But it is a very pet-friendly community. People always ask me that.
All right, let's go to the house now.
Okay. Am I back on? Did I freeze?
You are.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And I have the video of the house, so maybe we'll start there.
Oh, perfect. Do that.
If Penny's frozen up for a second, it's a 19 St. Thomas, which is a gated community within Ballin Isles. So it's a double gate. Penny, you back on?
I'm gonna use my phone
Okay.
so that everyone can hear me. All right, so this home is 5 bedrooms, 7 bathrooms, completely renovated from head to toe in 2019. It is absolutely magnificent. The floors are 36-inch wide white marble. Look at that kitchen. The color blue is so different than anything you've ever seen. This is the master bath. It's got a dual-size shower. This is the theater. You can watch any movie. Those are blackout shades that pull down. That video game might be negotiable. This is the office, the dining room. This is one of the guest bathrooms. This is the bar area. It completely lights up. All right, the video is going fast. This is the outdoor eating area. It's beautiful. That table lights up at night. This is me from standing on a ladder. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that tall. This is the fountain. And this is the aerial. Beautiful driveway. I just want to say Estates of St. Thomas is the most prestigious gated area within Ballin Isles. So you would live behind the gates, behind the gates.
This lot is just a beautifully private. I think it's the largest lot in there.
It's a double lot.
All right, Penny. Now I've got it. I've got the pictures on you.
You got what?
Your background now, so you can control the pictures.
Oh, okay. We're going to go through all the pictures. Okay, you got it. Give me a second. All right, I loaded these pictures up. So this is a night view of the pool. You can see all of the windows in the back. So the view from this house, no matter where you are, it is a completely treed-in private yard with a spectacular, it's just a beautiful pool. This is the outdoor, it's screened in. You can get there from both the pool area and off of the living room. This is where I would be living. It's got everything you need. It's brand spanking new. It seats 10 people in there, and you have a view of everything you need. When you first walk in the door, you walk straight into this. So it's a 1-story home, completely level. So straight in, there's no steps, which is really nice. And this is what you walk into. It's kind of the living room area. Nothing in the house is that formal the way she decorated it, but every room is usable. This is the dining room. Again, she can see 10 people in the dining room. So this is a view when you walk in. You're walking now into the main area of the house. The kitchen's going to be on my left. We're walking now. This is the kitchen table, and that's the family room. But again, check out that beautiful picture window where you could see the sunsets, and it's just beautiful, the views from, again, every single room.
It's really an easy house, even though it's a really big house. It flows really nice and easy, and it's a very, comfortable, warm, house, and the way it feels.
It's a 6,000 square foot home, Jeff, and it's a very cozy home at the same time. So you're absolutely right. This is a view of the kitchen. So right through to your right at about 2 o'clock would be where the kitchen table is that we saw. So everything that you're looking at is storage in this kitchen. It's all Thermador and Sub-Zero appliances, all brand new. This is the theater. It's absolutely beautiful in here. You could bring your friends, blackout shades. You could watch any movie that's out. There's a bathroom in there, so this could also be used as a bedroom. This is the master bathroom. It's got dual showers, dual water closets, dual sinks. So anyone out there who's got a significant other, this is awesome. You do not have to share and clean up after your man. So this is very nice.
Those floors are really pretty too.
I'm sorry, did I freeze?
Yeah, you froze just for a second.
All right, okay, I'm sorry. I think I just clicked wrong on these pictures. This is the front of the house. So when you first walk up, it's a huge circular driveway. It's a little recessed from the street because some of the homes in Florida are closer to the road. This one is set back, so it has an elegant feel when you drive onto the driveway. This is another view of the family room. Okay, I got a little out of order here, sorry.
Look at the ceiling work up there. Go back to that picture for a second in the kitchen.
I will, if I can find it. I'm sorry, my computer's taking a vacation today. I can't get back to it, Jeff, but I'll try. This is the outdoor pool in the daytime. The last picture I showed you was the night. This has been completely renovated. All along the back, there were these Greek statues. There must have been 6 or 8 of them. It was a very different, more formal feel. This is a very casual, elegant feel. Tons of room for entertaining. This is a night view from the driveway. It's very well manicured. It's beautiful. People love to live in Balanos per se. They say it's one of the most beautiful communities within the area, but this home is actually probably one of the nicest ones when you pull onto it. It's just beautiful. When you pull through the gates in St. Thomas, it's going to be on the left. It's very well situated. You can zip in and out through the North Lake Gate. The other gates one is on military and one is on PGA. I think this is most of the pictures. But ceilings off into the family room there. I think that's what you wanted to see.
Yeah, the ceilings are beautiful from that, from that angle, especially. How many there's 6 different, coffered ceilings altogether.
The feedback on the house has been, it's really not missing anything. The house is perfect for someone who really brings a lot of people down. A lot of people want to bring their kids down for the holidays. There's a lot of second marriages and relationships where a 6-bedroom, it's a 7-bathroom house. So it is for someone who really wants to entertain to the nines, needs a lot of room, wants a 1-story so they don't have to worry they can age in the home. There's no stairs. So it's a very comfortable living home. I don't know if you have any other questions for me, but those are really
No, I really don't. Penny, if somebody wants to take a look at it, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
They can use Morse code if they know it, or they could call me at 561-320-2567, or they could email me at penny@echofineproperties.com, and I look forward to
Penny,
hearing from you.
you missed, you faded out for a second, so I think you're just going to have to use the Morse code. There you go. So send Penny a note right now. Penny's terrific to work with. She's a lawyer by trade, really knows her stuff. A little quiet, no jokes at all going on. She's a really terrific to work with, both from a professional standpoint and just a terrific human being and just a lot of fun. We're gonna go from Penny to Cary.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So this is Cary Lichtenstein, which he happens to share the same name as me. I don't know if we know anybody in particular that we have any acquaintances with. I don't know where that Lichtenstein name, came from. But for those of you who don't know, Cary's my dad. So, hi, Dad.
Hey, Jeffrey, how are you?
Good. So yesterday, Rob interviewed me, and so today I'm going to interview you. For those of you who don't know, my dad worked in a completely different business and has a really interesting background. He's from Chicago originally, was an economics major, was a lawyer by trade, ran a company, large company that he took over was my grandfather's business. That he turned into a pretty large company over a 30-year period. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your background? I'm going to put the video that Rob has playing on let me start first. Why don't you talk a little bit about your background first?
Sure. This is sort of unusual being interviewed by my son, and since we haven't rehearsed anything, and I don't know any of the questions that he's going to ask me, I guess we'll just wing it as best as we can.
Tell me about your grandfather or your father. I'm sorry.
My grandfather's from Russia, and he stowed away on a ship coming to America, and he got caught, and they made him work his way over. And he was a tailor, and he immigrated from New York to Chicago, and opened up his own tailor shop. And my father, we're all from Chicago, and I didn't really move here until 1998. So I spent all my formative years in Chicago. My dad was also a lawyer by profession, and he studied on a sewing machine. And turns out that when he graduated from law school, there were no jobs because it was the Depression, and so he took a job as a button salesman, and then as a zipper salesman, and then he had an entrepreneurial spirit, and he started selling odd lots of zippers, and eventually through one of his customers, he wound up in the drapery lining business. And when I graduated from law school, I went to work for him. And the reason I went to law school is I didn't know whether I would be any good in business. I didn't know. My dad was a pretty tough guy. I didn't know whether or not he and I would get along in business. So law was my backup career, and things turned out pretty well. My dad left the business after about a year and left it to me to run. And
What did you learn from him?
Um, I learned how to be exacting. I learned how to negotiate. I learned how to be careful. Um, I learned how to be a perfectionist, and to this day, that the perfectionist trait and the negotiating skills have uh, served me very well, as including my law background and including my economics and finance.
Can you share some of the sayings that Grandpa Jerry would tell you and that you follow?
Well, the one saying that I always quote is you can't make a good deal with a bad guy, and you can't make a bad deal with a good guy. And that applies to the textile industry, that applies to the real estate industry, it applies really in life. And good people are good people, and bad people they got their reputation for that, and they will always screw you in the end. They'll just wait, and you wait for that shoe to drop, and it will drop.
We've always had that. I have followed that. I know you do that in business, and in here, if it's not a good relationship, or you get a funny feeling, you're better off passing a listing or passing. It's bad for everybody when you get somebody who's not out. When you have a wonderful client, it makes life so great, and you kill yourself for that person.
And one of the problems in the real estate business is you have to have a thicker skin, and you can't dwell on any of the negative experiences. You have to put those aside, but you learn not to get into those situations again. And there's typically warning signs, and we have to read those warning signs. But on a positive note, I moved to Florida in 1998, and it sold the textile business. I built it up from 3 million when I took it over from my dad to 100 million, and I was fortunate enough. My timing was really good. I saw China coming in, and I didn't like the storm clouds, and I just felt that they were going to become my low-cost competitor, and the guy usually with the cheapest price wins, and so they were a big threat, and so I moved here and actually retired, and I was retired for 10, 12 years. And all I did was play golf. I loved playing golf. I was low handicap, and that was my passion. And then I had one back operation and another, and I had to give up golf, and so I really had nothing to do. So I took up a new hobby, which was painting. I'd never lifted a paintbrush before or done any sketching, and my wife pushed me out of the house, and my son recruited me to come to the real estate business. This is where I live, over in Ambrose Cove, and I love the real estate business.
You started to paint before you got into real estate, in between
Right.
golf and you still paint. That's one of your paintings behind you, these the marbles.
Correct. I painted for a couple of years, and it was a skill that I wanted to try to master as best as I could. And I think that painting that you're looking at right there was the impetus to. There's me playing the 12th hole at Augusta National, little par 3. But anyway. So
What do you like about painting?
um, it's creative, and, uh, and it's a skill set that I learned that I have, and it lets me express some things, and I paint only what I really love. So I don't repeat myself. So I'll paint something modern. I'll paint something, paint portraits.
When somebody's working with you, you have a deep background in law. You have a deep background in especially deep background in business. You know all the golf courses here. You played all top 100 golf courses in the United States, and you also from the textile business, you really understand staging, how rooms put together. You understand fashion and where things are going, and from your economics background, you understand numbers and negotiations, really well. What can someone expect to get? What kind of realtor will you be when they're calling you up? Besides hearing some new jokes.
Well, you'll have to listen to some corny jokes because I'm a jokester, but I'm also very serious. And a couple things that you'll learn from me is that I am a master negotiator. I bought and sold textiles for 30 years from every country across the world. And I dealt with every different type of seller. And um, I have mastered the skill of negotiating. So when I put my negotiating hat on behalf of my client, whether I represent them as a buyer's agent, or if I have the listing, they can be sure that I will not leave any money on the table, and I will get them the best price. And if I could toot my own horn for just a minute, that's really a skill set that you either have or you don't have. I don't really care so much about the commission. I care about satisfying my customer. And if I'm a buyer's agent, I want to get it at the best price. And if I represent the seller, then I'm going to get them the highest possible price.
On the buy side, you do the most in-depth, searches for clients, and you're there early and late, and really do your homework. Did that come from? Is that back from law school and what you learned from your father? And what can they expect, from you? Because a buyer always, is concerned I'm going to miss something.
Well, unfortunately, I'm a glutton for punishment, and my world record is 74 houses that I showed to one couple. And when I interviewed them, I knew exactly what they wanted, and so I took them to the first house, and they didn't want to pay the price. And so when I took them to the 74th house, which happened to be the first house, bought it. And I believe it's happened to be 8 or 10 times where the very first house that I've taken someone to is the house they buy. Depends a lot on the interview process, how honest people are with me with regard to their budget, what drives them, who the buyer in the family is. It's usually the wife about 90% of the time.
Cary is famous. The husband gets in the front of the car, and he kicks him out and puts him in the back seat, and and she gets to come up front. So you tell why that is.
Because the woman's the boss, and I don't think there's any husband around that won't admit to that either out loud or to himself. The husband wants peace and quiet, and takes out the checkbook, and he will let his wife have her way.
So what he's doing, which is really smart, is whether it's on the phone, he's listening. His listening skills are really amazing, so that he wants to learn what you're exactly looking for, and not figure that out after the third showing, and then you have to stop everything and then start all over again. Or you're working with an agent, they're not showing me the right thing. And that's where you're extracting so much information in the initial interview, when you're talking to them, whether it's on the phone or in a call like this, or when you're driving around with them.
The more information that whether it's a buyer or a seller will share with me, the quicker the result is going to be. And I don't like to waste people's time, and I don't want to drag them around to stuff that doesn't fit. So I need information, and I need to do my analysis. And I'm going to ask them, okay, what's your maximum budget? And at what point, if we exceed a number, what's the number where you become uncomfortable? And I will not exceed that number. Sometimes later on, people have some more money in reserve, and then they'll push me, but I won't push them. So it's very important that I respect the client's wishes, and I take them to what I believe they want. And my analysis of them, which community that they belong in, where they're going to fit best. I know every community for 22 years here. I've played every golf course. I've eaten dinner in every dining room here. I've sold houses in every single one, multiple houses in every single one of the communities. I know the membership. I've sold houses both for buyers and for sellers. So I know the communities. And after you work with somebody, you can sort of figure out where they're going to be happiest. I mean, I'll give you a terrible example. I ask my clients, are you a Democrat or a Republican? And they say, well, why do you ask that question? And I say, well, if you're a Republican, you do not want to buy in this community because it's 95% Democrat, and vice versa. And so you really need to know the communities and whether or not they can successfully assimilate into that community.
There's the amount of time you spend searching. I got my work ethic I watched growing up. We were talking yesterday. A lot of it was, you watch Walter Payton running up a hill all day. That's why I didn't get hurt, when I was 7, 8 years old, or Michael Jordan. But a lot of it was from you sitting in the breakfast table, on a Saturday at 5 o'clock in the morning and a Sunday, or going to work at the hours, that you did, and never giving up. And you sometimes I see you push a client, you're pushing them to go to the next house and the next house, because you want to make sure they don't make a mistake and they see everything that they're supposed to see. Any other parting words you want to say, Dan?
No, I think this is kind of an unusual time that we're all stuck inside hibernating with with the coronavirus. And, but I think that there will be opportunities. And I think that people who, buyers in particular, who have been procrastinating, wanting to get out of the crowded cities and the high taxes in the Northeast, I think this is going to create an impetus for them to leave. And I think that there are certain sellers down here that have wanted to move back to where their family is and their children and grandchildren, and they're going to want to list their house and sell their house. And so I think this is a good opportunity for both the buyer and the seller.
So if you want to get in touch with Cary, and I put his profile information in the comments on this page, 561-379-2020, or Cary, like Cary Grant, CARY, at echofineproperties.com. And then at 1 o'clock in 10 minutes, we have Suzanne Slate coming on, and she's going to be at the Vine Post. And then at 2, Penny's going to be coming back. She's at Blue Water Taco, and as we're profiling and giving some of the local businesses in here, we're learning what they're all about. You buy in here, you're not just buying a home, you're buying these communities that you're seeing typically first, but you're also buying, what you're buying, the restaurants and the location and the whole vibe that an atmosphere has. And our community is made up of all these local businesses, and we're local, and we support local, and hope you do too. So for Cary, myself, Rob Moore, and Penny, so long, everybody.
Bye now.